What's up, fam? This is Xergio Ramos. Welcome back to the channel. And oh wait, hold on. All right, much better. What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Xergio Ramos, and today we are talking about an exciting new piece of gear that I have recently just acquired, and I wanted to show it to you guys. And this right here is a big hint. Today we will be talking about the GOC Guitars Satya 8-string guitar.
XBD.
First off, I need to get my Satya 8-string guitar. And here it is, guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful guitar. It is a beautiful, beautiful work of art. And before we get to like some extra tones or anything like that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the specs. So as I've said before, this guitar over here is a Satya 8 by GOC Guitars. So the version that I got is multi-scaled, which means that the scale length from the first string, and in this case, the bottom string, which is the 8th string, is different to compensate for string tension so that the lowest strings don't get flabby. On the lowest, we have 25.5-inch Fender scale length, and on the very, very top, we have 27 inches scale length. The body is made of North American ash, which is more obvious on the back side. It is a thickness of 35 millimeters. The neck is made of, I'm not sure if this is trademarked by GOC themselves or if it is a wood that is out there, but it is what they call Atlas wood. And it is a very, very stiff, stiffer than rosewood according to their chart online, featuring 24 stainless steel frets, which I think is incredible, jumbo stainless steel frets, and the neck shape is kind of a D shape. I hope this is coming across on camera. For the inlays, you have these 4mm dots also here, and no, they don't glow in the dark, which is a bit of a shame. It features a two-way truss rod, so that means that there's two pieces of carbon fiber going across the entire neck to make sure that it's really, really straight. And the adjustment for the truss rod is here because obviously you can't adjust it at the head. At the head, we have a locking system. And as you can see, it features a 0 fret. For the bridge, they are using their own proprietary system called the ZSR01 bridge system. All of the pieces are machined out of brass. And I think it sounds pretty cool. It's a little convoluted, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. For the electronics, you have master volume, 2 humbucking pickups, which are 4-conductor wire, which means that you can split these. And I have installed a push-pull pot for that reason, and a 3-way toggle switch. On the back, it comes with a battery compartment, but battery compartment is only if you want to install active pickups. These pickups that are inside the guitar are indeed passive pickups, but this is here just in case.
I'm gonna see your victory, for the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see your victory, I'm gonna see your victory, for the battle belongs. I'm
A lot of guitar reviewers will usually start with the pros first and then the cons. For my review though, I'd like to start with the cons first because I definitely do think that the pros outweigh the cons. So the first con that I've experienced with this guitar is that I think that the bridge is a little weird in terms of its design. It's not really intuitive, and there's a lot of things that you should know and should experiment with before you can kind of get it dialed in to the way how you want. So for example, you have the screws on top, which are to make sure that the brass ball holder inside doesn't go past a certain point. Just like in most headless other instruments, you twist this end and this is your tuning head. You have to make sure that bound end of your string does not go past the saddles or else it'll have a bunch of issues. You need to have enough forethought to do that before you lock it off here, and you need to tighten it. You kind of get used to it. In general, it's a bit weird in my opinion. And also intonating this. I'm personally not a fan of guitars where you can't intonate it on the go, kind of like a Les Paul or something similar where you'll need to tune the string to see how out of tune it is. Then you will need to untune the string, then you need to intonate the guitar, then you have to tune it back up, then you need to cross your fingers and hope that you got it right. And that is very much the case with this, where you need to detune it because the screw for the intonation is actually inside, and it's not even a fine control, it's a lock so that the bridge doesn't move, but then when you unlock it, then you're free to move it at will, and you just kind of had to guess. And I wish that there was a better way, but I'm not a bridge designer, I can't tell. And also, full disclosure, I haven't owned a Strandberg guitar ever. I played with them a couple of times, but never to the extent of knowing what the bridge system is like. So if it's similar, then okay, I guess that's the trade-off of having a headless guitar. But this is just my experience with it. Take it with a grain of salt. So when you purchase this guitar, in the box that it comes with, you get an Allen wrench for adjusting majority of the screws, and then you get like this long piece of metal bar, which is meant to be the adjustment for the truss rod. However, something that, and I've told GOC this, and I wish that they would include this, hopefully in the future, wink wink, a tool to adjust the bridge height. You can individually adjust each saddle for the bridge. However, it's kind of weird in that it's like a screw with a bunch of holes on it, and then the more you screw it in, then the lower it goes, and then the more you screw it out, then the higher it goes. They say to use a sim injector tool, and not everyone might have that. They also say you could use a needle, but needles can break very, very easily. Just food for thought. And GOC, I know that you're watching this. Hopefully you guys can include your own little tool for the bridge adjustment. Another con to the bridge in particular, it's machined well, but right off the bat, it's a bit sharp. And if you're like me, where I like practicing either in my shorts or just in my underwear, this thing and headless guitars of this nature are meant to be played kind of classical style like this. The bridge is gonna dig into your thigh a little bit if you're not wearing pants. So that's just something to keep in mind that could easily be rectified if you are going to put down a towel or something. Another con is that the cavity is really, really tiny in here. You are very, very limited to the amount of electronic wiring things that you can do with this guitar. With this build, currently this is, I think, the second or third generation of these guitars. This generation exclusively only uses 3-way toggles and 1 pot. For me, aside from metal, I also play a bunch of other styles, some of which do need a tone pot. They said that you can add a concentric pot, and then you can also have like I've seen people use a mini toggle switch, but I want more, and I wish that there were more options, and it's really, really tight if you know what you're doing. They also said that you could use the battery compartment to route a 5-way selector switch, but in my opinion, that'll put the switch here, which is kind of ugly if I were to put that there. So I wish that there was a way to, I don't know, put something extra. like an extra pot or something. And the last con, but I think this is a major con, however, after talking to GOC, and they have amazing customer service, and I'll get back to that in the pro section, this guitar had a lot of quality control issues right out of the box. So among the quality control issues, the first one that I experienced when I was intonating guitar is that the intonation screw inside stripped. Like I couldn't turn it anymore, and I had to be very careful with attempting to turn it so that it would actually turn. Eventually I got it out and they sent me some new screws, so no problem there. But that's just one example. The second example is that the barrel jack, and I'll include a video of this, it has some wiggle or some play inside of it, and as a result it kind of grounds itself. If your plug is in the wrong spot, then you'll just get this loud meh sound. On the neck, when I received it, I noticed that there were kind of like lacquer bubbles. Like, I know this is a smooth finish, it's not sticky in any way, it's awesome. But I noticed that there were like overspray or bubbles that I could like pick on with my nail. And the last thing that a lot of you might not care about, but I definitely care about it because I do most of the wiring on most of my guitars, is that when I looked inside the control cavity of this guitar, the wiring and the solder joints look like how I did it when I was in high school. It was really, really not good. And I had to fix majority of that. And thankfully, it didn't bother me at the time, but there was some excess noise, and also it just didn't look good. It didn't give me peace of mind that all of my connections were solid. So definitely had to fix that, but no problem there. That wraps up all of the cons. I'd like to talk about the pros because it kind of nullifies it out. So after talking about all the quality control issues with this guitar, I had to talk about the way how it has balanced out, which was the customer service for GOC was incredibly responsive, incredibly apologetic, and they keep saying, this is not our standard. Double checked with who did the quality control, wanted the quality to be a lot better. This is not the standard. Our guitars are meant to play just as good, if not better, than most of the other multi-scale brands out there. We really apologize for this. We'll do anything that we can to help you. I admire that. I admire a company that has incredible customer service like that. Like, they sent me screws, they paid for the shipping, they gave me a little gift too as well. And it wasn't just the customer service rep who spoke to me. The customer service rep even showed me a message that was meant to be sent to me by the company owner, who said, wow, this is bad, we're really sorry. This is not how this is supposed to go, and they ensured that it's only in this run. At the time of me shooting this video, we are currently in the pandemic. You know, the world's a little weird right now, and companies and factories kind of have to cut costs in places, and sometimes some things kind of go by the wayside. So I think that this is one of those cases where someone just didn't pay much attention. It's okay because all of the things are really minor, and GOC customer service really took care of me, and they continue to take care of me, so thank you, GOC. But moving on to more of the pros. So one of the pros to having a headless instrument that is really, really skinny is that it is really light compared to other guitars. I know a guitarist, Jarek Pakaba, I hope you're watching this, who has a custom headless for him because he has scoliosis. And that really helps take the stress off of his back and his body when he's playing guitar. Second pro is that these pickups sound pretty damn good. Given that, you know, they're stock pickups, they even have claims that they put it up against higher quality pickups and they stand their own, and they do. They sound really good, especially for stock pickups. If you wanna trade them out for whatever, that's fine. I'm definitely gonna hang on to these, but I am gonna trade these out and put them in something else maybe. For right now, I'm pretty damn happy. This definitely gives me the modern like guitar shreddy sound that you definitely hear, and the fact that you can also split them just opens up an entire world of possibilities for wiring. Another pro, so I played some Strandberg 8 strings. One of the things that I definitely missed about Strandberg whenever I would like hold other guitars was the Endure neck. The Endure neck is incredible and I love it. It's comfortable, especially for a person like me. It's patented and exclusive only to Strandberg, so that's fine. However, when I tried their 8 strings, Endure neck did not really endure. In my opinion. This neck, honestly, it didn't feel like a gigantic flat slab of wood that most 8-string guitars have. It definitely felt very comfortable, especially with the D shape. My thumb can rest comfortably on the top. It can rest comfortably on the back for doing regular open chords. If ever I have to do like some higher up stuff, I have enough grip on the back where my hand isn't gonna cramp up, and it doesn't feel too thin. It just feels the right amount for me. It feels just perfectly, it's just perfectly enough. It's just enough. Talking more about the neck, I inspected the fretwork as soon as I got the guitar, and the fretwork is solid. No popping out frets, no sharp fret ends. So good job on GOC for awesome frets, and also stainless steel frets. And there's 24 of them. They're all nice and shiny. They're all smooth, well crowned. Awesome, just awesome. So I spoke briefly about this, but the inclusion of the battery pack I think is really cool, considering that this is the trend right now of these kind of modern multi-scale instruments, is to have active pickups by people like EMG, Fluence. I'm not entirely sure if Seymour Dungan makes some, but it's already there. Instead of having to route your guitar yourself, they already include the battery pack and it's professionally installed. It works great. I already have a battery in there just in case. You know, you never know when you're gonna need a spare rechargeable 9-volt. That's forward thinking, and I like that it is forward thinking on their part. One of the major pros with this guitar that you absolutely cannot ignore. I live right now in the Philippines and I got this at Philippine pricing. The price that you get for this guitar is 52,000 pesos, which rounds out to about like $1,000-ish. This does not feel like $1,000 guitar. This feels like it's worth more. I mean, quality control issues aside, if those were non-existent, and they've said that they are supposed to be non-existent, this goes up against major guitar brands. And it's kind of scary, given that it has a lot of features that you can only find on guitars which aren't even close to the $1,000 price point. For example, headless guitar. That's already a trend that is premium. Headless. Fan frets and multi-scale. That's already a premium thing. Awesome pickups. The pickups don't suck, for one. Stainless steel frets. Solid neck, dual carbon fiber truss rod. These things exist on guitars on the market, which are by major companies. You get all of that for $1,000? Sign me up. That's a no-brainer. That's easy. That's an easy decision to make. Sound-wise, I will be releasing a video soon where I'm gonna compare this guitar to similar vein multi-scale guitar brands to see how it stacks up in terms of its feel, its quality, in terms of its sound most especially. So one last thing that I do want to mention after talking about the GOC guitar is that they asked me to make this review, but they said be as transparent as you can with the reviews. And that's something that I greatly value, is a company that doesn't sugarcoat. They say that if there's something shitty about the guitar, say that it's a shitty guitar. If there's something good about it, say that it's good. Compare it. By all means, we want our customers to know what they're really getting, because I mean, $1,000 for a good guitar is still $1,000. or 52,000 pesos is still 52,000 pesos, especially in the middle of quarantine and the pandemic and everything that's going on. Big ups to GOC for wanting to be transparent and wanting to be as open as possible. And you can ask them questions and they will get back to you 100%. So thank you so much. Thank you to GOC for the awesome customer service, the awesome t-shirt, and other things. Thank you for watching this video, and I would really appreciate it if you could leave me one of these, like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, all of that good stuff. Anyway, I'm Xergio Ramos. This has been my review. Stay tuned for more videos.